Chloe, I have good news. Good news? Please tell me what happened. Actually, Lucy's getting married. Really? Wow, that's really good news. Congratulations. Lucy will be a lovely bride, unlike someone else. What do you mean by that? You don't have to ask that question. I was on the groom's side at your wedding, so it wasn't so subtle. Attendees' eyes are on the bride's side, aren't they? Well, yes. Weddings are for brides, aren't they? I don't know, but your mother was the only one in the spotlight. I bet it must have felt good to have a letter from the bride read to your mother and make her weep, huh? I beg your pardon? I didn't know you felt that way when you were attending the wedding. Please don't say such a thing in front of my mother. I won't say it. Because this time, I'm going to be in that position. I'm getting excited. Dahlia, I think there's something wrong with what you're saying. Why? Because Lucy is the star of this wedding, right? Not you. But I'm the one who will lead her when she's going for a dress change, right? And there will be a letter from the bride to her mother, too. That's for Lucy to decide. Really? Yes. Weddings vary nowadays. Lucy, her husband-to-be, and the wedding planner will consult with each other. The wedding planner decides the progression of the wedding. Wow! Times have changed, haven't they? Well then, I must accompany the two of them. Why would you do that? It's obvious. Because I want to feel the spotlight on me too, not just the bride. I think that's not a good idea. So maybe you should consult with Lucy first. That's my suggestion. Chloe, the wedding is finally approaching. I've been working so hard to prepare for it, and I'm looking forward to it. It's Lucy and her husband who have been working hard to prepare, though. I've also been working hard on my diet to look perfect. Oh, I see. Anyway, please look after Lucy instead of yourself. It's her wedding. What are you talking about? If the mother of the bride isn't beautiful, even the bride would be ashamed, right? I'm sure Lucy would want me to shine brighter than anyone else. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Huh? Are you trying to be petty with me? No, I don't mean to, but I just think that Lucy and her husband are the center of attention, not you. You're really rude. Anyway, my dress is ready, isn't it? Yes, I've prepared it just as you told me. Did you give the music tape for the entrance to the venue staff? We've already arranged that too. And I forgot to mention, but are you sure about the accessories? Whose accessories? Of course, mine. I can't imagine wearing the most beautiful dress ever without accessories. Unthinkable, right? Well, I'm sorry I didn't realize until you mentioned it. You're so obtuse. Will you get those ready in time? Maybe. I don't want you to say maybe. Make sure you get them ready by the wedding day. Do you understand? Yes, Dahlia. Chloe, I'm sorry that Mom's being unreasonable again. Are you talking about the jewelry? I got an angry message from her saying that you forgot to prepare that. Oh no. I'm so sorry. Mom's really selfish. I don't understand her nerve of trying to show off more than her daughter at the wedding. I don't understand it either. Your mother is so persistent, so I don't think I can turn her down. I feel sorry for Lucy. It's her wedding, but Mom even showed up at the meeting with the wedding planner. She was telling them what to do during the wedding. I'm afraid it won't be the wedding that Lucy really wants. I agree with you, but it seemed like Lucy was giving up hope too. Well, I guess so. Mom never listens to anyone's opinion. It's that kind of thing that makes people hate you. What? I think Mom was always hated by the relatives. They always took a step back from her. I understood that even as a kid. I see. I think Dad is getting tired of her too. What do you mean? He's been thinking about divorcing Mom, but he's decided to stay married until after Lucy's wedding. I was surprised when I heard about that, but I think it's better for him to divorce Mom. I don't know what I can say. It's your father's decision, so we need to respect him. But until Lucy's wedding, we're still a family. Let's be cheerful for Lucy's sake. You're right. Thank you. Just tell Mom I said hi, even though it's going to take a lot of effort to deal with her. Yeah, I will. Don't worry about that. Let's hope that we can manage to have the best wedding for Lucy. Absolutely. Richard, can I have a minute with you? What's wrong? I just got a call that my mother collapsed. From who? Apparently, she collapsed at work, so an employee called my father, and my father called me. Is she all right? I don't think so. So I'm gonna go to the general hospital near my parents' house. Okay, please do so. Are you okay to go there by yourself? Yeah. I mean, my father will be there, so I should be fine. Anyway, I don't know the details about Mom's condition, so I'm going to check on her. I'm sorry that I need to go before Lucy's wedding. Don't worry about that. I'll let Lucy know about your current situation. Call me as soon as you find out about your mother's condition, okay? I'll be waiting for your call. I will. Thanks for everything. Hey, Chloe! When are you coming to pick me up? It's already past the appointed time. I won't be able to get dressed in time if you don't come. I have to get my hair set and makeup done too. Dahlia, please listen to me. I can't go to the wedding. Huh? What are you talking about? Why can't you go to my daughter's wedding? I'll never forgive you. Lucy is here with me. Why? Why are you with my daughter? It's her wedding today. I mean, what do you mean you can't go to the wedding? Gosh, you really don't know anything about that. I don't understand what you're saying. We're in the middle of a funeral. A funeral? Whose funeral? My mother. 2 days ago, she collapsed at work. She died from heart failure. Oh my God. Your mother passed away? Yes. Then what about Lucy's wedding? Lucy wanted to attend my mother's funeral, so she canceled the wedding. Huh? What do you mean? You've ruined my daughter's wedding. What about the dress I prepared? Dahlia, we're in the middle of my mother's funeral. How can you talk like that? Because I've prepared everything for this day. Looks like you lack common sense. I mean, why didn't you contact me when your mother passed away? Our relatives don't even know that the wedding is canceled, so they're on their way to the wedding venue. All of the relatives are coming to the funeral. Huh? Why? How come I don't know and they know first? Isn't it strange? When my mother passed away, Lucy and Richard helped me to contact everyone who was invited to the wedding. That's why the relatives came all the way here for my mother's funeral. Wait a minute. Why haven't they contacted me? Did you do that on purpose? I was the first to contact you. But no matter how many times I tried to call you, I couldn't get through. You're lying. I'm not lying. Didn't you check the incoming call log? What? Besides, Richard has been trying to reach you too, but he said he couldn't get through. What on earth were you doing? It's just... Just what? I was getting ready for the wedding. What kind of preparations did you do that you couldn't answer the call? I need to look good for the wedding. So I went to the hair salon and dyed my hair. And after that, I went for a massage. Then I had tea to show off in front of my friends. I'm speechless. Don't be rude. I'm supposed to be at my best for my daughter's wedding. It's just too much to bear that the wedding has to be canceled. My mother passed away. It's her funeral today. How can you continue to have a wedding in this situation? Lucy felt responsible since my mother took a good care of her. So she decided to cancel the wedding right away. Why is Lucy indebted to your mother? You didn't know about what happened? What? My mother was a pastry chef. That's why she was supposed to make Lucy's wedding cake today. And while she was making it, she collapsed. No kidding! That's why Lucy felt so responsible. She rushed to my mother's side first with her husband. When all the relatives heard about it, they came to my mother's funeral. And yet, only you weren't there. Just me? It seems that all the relatives tried to contact you too. No way. I don't accept incoming calls from unknown numbers, so I ignore all those calls. I can't believe you did that. If you receive calls from the same number over and over again, why don't you answer? Because I was at the hair salon. Why would I look at my cell phone? You didn't look at it afterwards? I didn't know the number, so I just left it there. Then what about the calls from Richard and Lucy? I didn't look at those right away. I thought it wasn't a big deal, so I just left it there. I see. If I didn't answer the phone, you should have just texted me by WhatsApp. Richard and Lucy did that too, you know. Huh? Oh, I wonder why I didn't notice that. After all, you were only thinking of yourself. You only care about how to stand out at your daughter's wedding. You were so desperate to do that, so you didn't pay attention to anything else. Well, that's because I never thought that your mother would pass away before my daughter's wedding. It was inevitable. I understand you very well. I'm at the funeral now, so if you'll excuse me. Wait, Chloe! Chloe, pick up the phone. I know you're aware. Hurry up and pick up the phone. What is it? My husband just asked me for a divorce. It's your fault. What are you going to do about it? What? Why is it my fault? This happened because you canceled my daughter's wedding. What? I keep telling you, my mother passed away. There's no way we can have a wedding on the same day as her funeral day. Your husband, Richard, Lucy and her husband, they all felt the same way. Besides messing up my daughter's wedding, you made my husband divorce me. For your information, your husband apologized to me. Why would he do that? He said he's sorry that his wife made such a call. Well, I'm in deep sorrow of losing my own mother. Seriously? You are an extremely self-centered woman. Your husband said he's been through a lot in his life to cope with you. My husband said that? That's why you're always hated by the relatives. Every time there's a gathering, your husband felt ashamed. Why? It's because of your outrageous behavior. Even today, you were preoccupied with the wedding until the very end. Lucy and her husband said they couldn't carry on with the wedding, so they made arrangements to postpone the wedding right away. That's right. Lucy's parents-in-law also attended the funeral. That was very painful for me too. I was very touched by their sympathy. Oh no. And yet, you cared nothing about anything else until the very end. Your husband was fed up with your attitude. No way. He said he has put up with your self-centered behavior for a long time, but he can't do it any longer. Did my husband really say that? He would never say such a thing. But he's actually asked you for a divorce, right? Yes, but... Your husband has been thinking about divorcing you for a long time. What? But Lucy wasn't married yet, so he decided to wait until Lucy got married. That's a lie. I heard that your husband finally exploded in anger when he heard about my mother's funeral. Exploded in anger? By the way, all the relatives were also stunned. It seems they didn't have a good impression of you to begin with. That's not true. What are you talking about? You don't know anything about me. If that's how you feel, it's fine. All of the relatives said they don't want to have anything to do with you ever again in the future. You're not going to get away with this. Instead, do something about my husband. He's going to divorce me because of you. Unfortunately, I can't change your husband's long-held feelings. What are you talking so cheekily about? Then, Richard also said he's going to cut ties with you. Huh? Richard? Yes. Ever since he was little, his self-centered mother has always pushed him around. Even so, he said he's always thought of you as his beloved mother. But you didn't even show up at my mother's funeral. You went to hair salons and thought only of yourself. He said he was fed up with your selfishness. I don't know why he said that. We will have more family members in the future. So he said he doesn't want his mother to give bad influence on us. So he's going to cut ties with you. That's a lie. There's no way Richard would say such a thing. And let me tell you something else. Lucy also said the same thing. My daughter too? You were participating in every meeting with the wedding planner. But you didn't know that my mother was the one who made the wedding cake. So Lucy was very upset. Well... If things continue like this, she said that the wedding is going to be a mess. So she decided to cut ties with you before the wedding. Oh no! What about my dress? What about my accessories? We had discussed every detail of the scene. I don't care. But I guess that was too much of a nuisance for Lucy and her husband. They've postponed it, but they're going to ban you from coming to the wedding. No kidding! How could you let this happen? I'll be all alone. This is all your fault, Chloe. What have you done? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't have time to think about you because of my mother's sudden and unexpected death. It's your mother's fault that she suddenly passed away. I can't believe you just said that. I must say that I despise you with all my heart. I absolutely can't allow you to talk about my mother like that. Stop blabbering nonsense. You've caused me so much trouble. You should properly convince my family. I have no intention of divorcing my husband. I'm not divorcing my husband, and I'm not cutting ties with my children. That's not my decision. It's your husband and children's decision. I don't think it will make any difference even if I try to persuade them. Besides, I don't think I can keep up with your selfishness anymore either. Huh? Then why don't you just divorce Richard? Why should I do that? Even if I divorce Richard, I don't think your husband will change his mind. I don't think he would want to spend the rest of his life with such a self-centered person like you. Huh? Then what should I do? Why don't you apologize to your family for everything you've done? Apologize? Each of them said that you've been a mess because of your improper behaviors. That's not true. Well, even if you apologize now, their desire to get away from you won't change. Well, I don't think you have any other thing you can do to solve the problem. Wait a minute. You're my son's wife, right? You have to help me. Isn't it your duty to help your mother-in-law when she's in trouble? Don't be silly. You didn't even show up at my mother's funeral, and you're saying whatever you want. I would never help a heartless person like you. Besides, you don't seem to understand anything I'm trying to tell you. I have no intention of continuing my family relationship with you. I'm going to cut ties with you. Don't say that. You're the only one I can count on, okay? Do something about it. I refuse. I don't even want to see your face anymore. I'm cutting ties with you after this conversation. You're lying. Don't say that, please. Don't abandon me. Please let the jokes stop here. I still have a lot to do with my mother. Now, if you'll excuse me, please take care of yourself. Chloe, don't be so cold. I don't want to be alone. Hey, help me out. After that, my parents-in-law officially divorced. Dahlia resisted desperately, but my father-in-law, who had put up with her for many years, was very determined. Richard and Lucy decided to cut ties with Dahlia, saying that they could not forgive her for the terrible things she had done to my mother. Dahlia was treated coldly by her relatives, and she became a solitary person throughout her life. 6 months after my mother's funeral, Lucy's wedding took place without a hitch. She even mentioned about the wedding cake that my mother was supposed to make during the celebration. It was a wedding that made me happy and sad, but seeing Lucy's happy face made me feel relieved. Of course, Dahlia was never invited to the wedding. Refusing to live in the same area, Dahlia moved to some unknown place. No one knows where she is now. Whether she's living alone and lonely, no one knows about that. I only hope that she's taking care of her health. Anyway, I have a child with Richard. The child hasn't been born yet, but every day I'm overflowing with gratitude for my mother.